You guys are doing some amazing work. And of course, this is Homelessness Week. So we've been focusing on different ministries and some of the work that's happening in homelessness area. But Ben, welcome to the studio. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, appreciate being here. And yeah, it's awesome.
Well, Teen Challenge does so much good in so many areas, but I love you're the homeless and outreach services manager. So you're specifically looking at this area of their ministry. Homelessness, though, in Australia, we're looking at it this week. It needs to be a focus every week. But just how big is it? But particularly amongst the youth, I guess.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, we look at homelessness coming up census night coming up. It's a reminder that youth homelessness is much bigger than people might realise. You know, in the last census we did in 2021, more than 45,000 young people under 25 were experiencing homelessness. And since then we've seen such a demand for youth services increase. You know, so yeah, when people really hear about the word homelessness, you know, they often picture someone sleeping on the street or someone sleeping on a park bench, and that's certainly part of the picture. But for many young people experiencing homelessness, it looks a bit different. You know, they could be sleeping in their car. They could be, you know, living in overcrowded houses, couch surfing from place to place, because they just don't have a stable place to call home. And many of these young people haven't really chosen this. Many escaping, you know, violence and neglect and family breakdown, but they're just doing the best they can with the difficult circumstances they're facing. You know. So
you said that this is an increasing problem. Like you've identified that the number of people needing help or that are experiencing homelessness is growing. What's Teen Challenge doing to try to help in that situation?
Yeah, great question. So we have 2 houses in Brisbane for young men aged 16 to 25. In that space, we have a crisis house, and that's for young men who, you know, risk of homelessness or homeless, you know, so that could be any situation in their crisis. And then we have transitional house as well, and that's for young men who, you know, they're working or studying, but they kind of still need support. You know, they're not quite ready to go into independent living.
Wow.
So they can still kind of be attached to us and you know, get that support still while they're in their kind of next step. You know, but we provide much more than just a bed. You know, we help them connect with services they might need, whether that's medical, mental health support. You know, obviously homelessness pathways, employment services. But at New Hope House, we have it's called an independent living skills program, and what we're really doing is teaching the young men how to budget, how to cook a meal, you know, how to maintain their household. So our hope is that they would, you know, really live well independently beyond us. And so our goal is simple. You know, we want every young person who walks through our doors to leave with hope and the practical skills that they need to build a stable future for themselves.
Brilliant. Thankful, aren't we, that there are organisations, Christian organisations like Teen Challenge out there. Yeah. And then discipling people and making pathways through that. I mean, it's a win-win. We're very excited. That's wonderful. Have you got a story of hope that's come out of that? We were just talking last hour to Mark, and he had lived on the street and then come out of it, and now he's serving and helping others. And I know in Teen Challenge there would be so many stories of people who have come through the programs and now successfully helping and others perhaps.
Yeah. So many different stories and, you know, things to think of, from teaching a person how to shave for the first time, teaching a person how to cook a meal, you know, and so those kinds of stories, we often hear about the big ones, but those moments are they really matter, you know. So, but you know, thinking back the last few weeks and a story more recently, we had a young man came to Australia from Samoa, and you know, he was looking for an opportunity, connecting with family, and unfortunately lost his job and family breakdown, and he found himself living in a park for several weeks, you know, and so he got connected with us through another drop-in centre, and then through the support of New Hope House, he was able, you know, to get stable and find employment again, and then moved into a private rental.
Oh, cool.
You know, and so today he's living well independently. He's working every day, and he's building a life that he came to Australia for. You know?
That's excellent. Yeah. That's so good to hear. Yeah. Well, Ben, thanks so much for dropping in and sharing a bit of this. I mean, you've been working with Teen Challenge for 10 years in this space, and just really appreciate hearing, that there is hope. I mean, obviously we see, and as you say, we sort of see some of this around us. Wonder, is there any hope for these people? But there is, and so really appreciate you sharing that with us today and just highlighting the needs in Homelessness Week.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah.
And if you want to find out more about what the work Teen Challenge is doing or jump on board with any of their projects, you head to Teen Challenge Queensland, is where Ben's part of, .org.au. Got to get that one in there. So teenchallengequeensland.org.au. But Ben, thank you so much. We're going to have to get you back another day, I think, and hear some more about the great work being done.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and and it's been the word of Teen Challenge. Yeah,